And the scene is set. This is hello everyone, and welcome to New Orleans by Night on the or the ancillary for it on the YouTube channel of Guthrie Prentice. Tonight we are doing a social scene prior to this is social scene number 4, I think it is, prior to the start of the show officially on November 12th. The scene is set. Monsieur Leblanc, a magician and thief of about 104 years by now. About 104 years. It's now going to is now doing a basic street performance in the hopes of trying to make a little coin, because Lord knows he's always ever since for the past 10 years or so he's been always strapped for cash. So the scene begins, and players can walk in or leave as they see fit, because this is public street after all, and we'll go from here. And ladies and gentlemen, if you take a look, you can see here three basic cups and 3 basic balls. Now what I do is I put the first ball on the top of the middle cup, and I put 2 cups on top, and I give it a tap with the magic wand, and lo and behold, the ball has passed through the cups. And now let's try that again. And as you can see, we put the second ball on top, we give a quick tap with the wand, and lo and behold, 2 have passed through the cup, and you can see the 2 here. Now we put them down, and we take the third cup over here. We take the third ball from here. We put them in the middle, put it on top, give a quick tap, and lo and behold, all 3 have passed through the middle. Now, as you can see, all 3 here, we take the third ball, we take it over here, we make it disappear, and lo and behold, it reappears back on top of the cup on the left. So now that we show, we have 3 cups and 3 balls, and that is the first round of the cups and balls. And of course, Monsieur Leblanc at this point proceeds to wait for applause from the audience. And who should walk in at this point?
Helps to have the microphone on. The black Mercedes pulls up in the back part of the park, out from the back door. Strangely, getting out by himself is a rather tall man with kind of short hair, wearing a priest's collar and black suit, and a long duster type jacket. Walking up to noticing what's going on. There's something of a slight hubbub or display going on in the park. Kind of walks over to see what's going on. They seem to be hovering around somebody, so he's going to come up and see what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Now for the next phase. Sorry, you're saying?
He notices Monsieur Leblanc out in the open with his tools and whatnot, and kind of at first just goes, but then says, okay, this is going to be good, and puts his arms behind his back, folds his arms behind his back, and proceeds to watch.
At this point, I'm going to see whether or not, could you roll me a, give me a sec here. I'm going to be at -1 dice, so just one moment here. I need to calculate something to see whether or not my character spots you back there, while performing amongst the crowd. Let's see. I need a perception alertness, so technically I'd normally be working at 4 dice, but because of the -1 due to the ag, just roll me 3 dice, please, to see whether or not you can set the difficulty accordingly as to whether or not I notice you.
It's usually, what, a straight 6 or a 7, so you get two successes.
Okay, so yeah, I probably noticed you're there. Noticing that the father is there, Monsieur Leblanc decides to up his game a little bit with a newer type teleportation trick he was working on. I will need you to roll me, let's see, because this is going to be dexterity, larceny, specialty, misdirection. That's 8 dice -1 is 7 dice, please. And we'll make this standard difficulty because, well, I'm trying to fool a vampire, but this is just a sleight of hand routine, so I don't think it's anything too difficult.
All right. You said just a 7, you said, is the basic?
No, 6 is basic. Because it's a sleight of hand.
Okay, 10, 6, and 7.
Because I also declared that I was using my specialty, that actually counts as 2 successes, so I think that's 4.
Yeah.
All right, brilliant. So with that in mind, I should be able to make this work. Monsieur Leblanc proceeds to show the 3 balls and 3 cups and says, "Well, you see, the thing is it's quite simple, of course, to do with 3 balls and 3 cups. But let us try something a little more sophisticated here. I'm going to get rid of one of the cups because it's not necessary, and let us work with the basic 2. I'd like you to inspect them." He passes them out to the audience and passes one to the father to verify that it's completely to verify they're completely empty, normal cups.
Looks normal to me.
Proceeds to take it back and says, "Now, if you will watch closely, I take the first ball." Actually, I'm going to have to move this just a tad so this way my lower third is not blocking the illusion while this is happening. I'd like you to take a look at the first ball. I take the first, sorry, let me try this again. I take the first ball here, I put it under the first cup. There is nothing under the second cup. I tap the one with the first cup, and lo and behold, the ball disappears and reappears under the second cup. Now let us try that again, shall we? I deliberately put the second ball under the second cup. Under the first cup, there is only the first ball under the second, and lo and behold, it snaps. I snap my fingers, and it teleports from there to there, showing again the 2 balls. Now I try again with the third one. Third time's the charm, hopefully. So we put it under the first cup, only the first 2 under the second. I tap with my wand, and oops, apparently I screwed up that magic. Let's try that again with a little more magic this time. So I put the third ball under the first cup, only the first 2 under the second. Would you be so kind, Monsieur le Père, Monsieur le Ministre, and put your hand on top of the first cup, please? And as you do so, do you do so?
Yes, and I will.
Yeah, as he puts his hand on the first cup, he then proceeds to tap. Monsieur Leblanc proceeds to tap the first cup, tap the second, and says, "And now, as we remove the cup, all 3 balls appear under the second cup, which means that despite the fact that you were holding it here, somehow the first ball must have secreted from out from under here." And lo and behold, as you pull the hand off, he reveals it, and lo and behold, 3 balls have teleported from under one cup clean straight through to another. And of course, as proceeds to Monsieur Leblanc proceeds to leave the 2 cups. Proceeds to leave the 2 cups up for people to see. Proceeds to put the 3 balls back down again after showing them to the audience that it's basically 2 cups and 3 balls, and proceeds to leave it there for people to take in before he does his next trick. At this point, it looks like the crowd is starting to the first crowd is starting to leave for a little bit there. So as Monsieur Leblanc puts the 3 cups and 3 balls back in the jar, he puts them off to the side, passes the hat around for people to do, takes a look in and goes, "Well, I've made about $5 this time. That's actually not half bad, all things considered." And proceeds to turn to the father. Sorry, give me a sec to get your name here. Why can I not isolate you on top of the screen? It's not working. Monsieur Deakins. Père Deakins. It's been a while. How's things going? Hello? Hello? I think we're frozen. This is not good. David, I think you're frozen. Could you try reloading the room and see how that works? Failing that, I may have to reload the room. Joy. Now, F5 is reloads, so I'm going to try reloading the room. Hang on. Okay, back. David, are you still there? I'm at the head of this post-production. Okay. So where were we? Ah, yes. Okay, so you'll have to put your lower third back up, but we're sorry about this, ladies and gentlemen. We're experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Oh, yeah. Did I mention I hate Google Plus right about now?
Yeah, so I noticed. Okay. So, where were we? Ah, yes, back in character. So as the crowd starts dispersing again, and Monsieur Leblanc looks in his hat and says, "Well, a whole $5 this time. What do you know? That's actually not so bad as things go. Père Deacons, how are things doing with you these days?"
Give me 2 seconds. I have a call I have to take. And he puts
Oh.
out his phone and.
Okay, well, Père Deacons apparently answers the phone. Monsieur Leblanc proceeds to do another trick for a bit of a laugh. Proceeds to pull a fresh deck of cards out, and and I just bent one card horribly. That's not good. And the worst part is I didn't even roll for this one, so didn't even roll for this. Well, while Père Deacons is busy, I can do this trick for the rest of the mortals, which means I don't have to roll for it. Damn. Okay, we're going to cut that card inside the deck somewhere to make sure that's a lot easier to work with. Okay. Bend, then pull. That's it. Good. Now, where were we? Ah, yes. Okay, looks like I may not have to pull another card trick, so while we're waiting, we can get back to the conversation. So, yeah. Père Deacons, how have things been doing with you?
Not that bad, but you tell him it's a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We can help so many people at the community center with this. I'll talk to him tomorrow, but I'm not. I'll talk to him tomorrow, and then just hangs up.
Yeah. Sorry, Monsieur. Sorry, Père Deacons.
I'm going to roll. I'm going to make what I call a charity roll.
A what roll? A missionary roll?
Yeah, it's just a complete. Based on how the crowd reacted, roll like 4. 4, 2, 6. Okay, yeah, we're okay. He'll pull a couple bucks out and throw it in the hat for you.
Yep.
You're getting pretty good.
Monsieur Leblanc says, "Père Deacons, you're too generous," and with any luck, and proceeds to pocket the change as he puts his hat away, as he puts his hat back off to the side for a moment. So, what's bringing you out on? Pardon?
Couple 20s.
A couple of 20s were tossed in there.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I believe I've made my amount for the evening. Monsieur Leblanc says as he pockets the entire amount and starts de-setting up shop. Père Deacons, what brings you out on a fine evening like this? I figured you might be tending to your flock or what have you.
Well, not all the good Lord's work is done inside the church itself. Sometimes, actually, a lot of times, the sheep wander outside of the pen and be brought back. So a lot of the shepherding needs, a lot of the flock go all about as they choose. So I've got plenty of work to be done outside, as well as inside the cathedral proper. There was actually a meeting with a good business associate of mine, Mr. LaCroix. I retain his services for a small fee on after some time now for his lawyer services. He's a kind of a retainer of sorts. I have him on retainer for legal matters.
Ah.
I don't know if you've met Cyril LaCroix. He's been here for quite some time.
No, I must.
If you've met.
No, no, I don't. I don't believe we've met. I am new. I am a new arrival to town, after all.
Oh well, he definitely should. He definitely is someone you should look into. associations with. He's got contacts if you need them
Well, I
for
will.
business such as yours. If looking for financing, legal, that type of what do they call it online now? When you want to start your own business and games and stuff up, that it's all the rage now. You kind of do it. It's your own little. It's when you don't have any money to do it yourself, and then you get people to finance it for you, like a patrician or a publican, something of that nature.
Oh yes. Oh, okay. I know what you're referring to. One of those venture capitalist things.
Kind of. I mean, as long as there's something in it for him.
Oh. Oh, you mean like when getting people online? You mean like that? At this point, I'm going to need you to roll me something specific. Let's see, intelligence computers. That'll be 4 dice because I'm incorporating the minuses.
Okay.
So yeah, intelligence computers. I think this is standard difficulty.
And 2 successes.
I think it's called that crowdsourcing or that Kickstartering thing.
Kickstarter. They were talking about it just today for this last couple of months over at the community center. It's a good way to get people who have not really a whole lot to do. It's a good, kind of like vocational rehab.
Yeah. I completely agree. As a matter of fact, I might look into finding a new computer and doing that myself. I may have to save up for a while before I can. I may have to save up for a while before I can buy such a computer, oh wait, do they have public libraries here in town who they might have public computers for this sort of thing?
If you mean public libraries, there's certainly public libraries in New Orleans, I would imagine. I think the problem would be the hours that the public libraries keep.
Yes, I may have to. So much for that. I will have to save up for a. I will have to save up for a computer myself. No matter.
No, what is it? Walmart should have one. Go to the local Walmart. They should get you some pretty decent deals.
I suppose that's fair that they've got one of the 24-hour Walmarts here. Sorry, I must confess I am new to I am new to New Orleans, so to New Orleans. But no, thank you again, kind father, kind père, Monsieur le Père. My main concern at this point is simply, and as for the legal aspects of things, if it weren't for the fact that I could not sue a fellow fellows of our type, in fellows of our common type, if it were not for the fact that I could not sue them in the courts because there is no way of getting remonstrations from them, I would sue the bastard from about 10 years ago who took every penny I had.
Yeah. No, definitely. I understand there. There was a show on TV when I was first setting up the 10, 15 years ago. It was on reruns even by then, but called Night Court. A lot of people watched. Pretty funny. I don't know if those are actually real or if it was just kind of a joke. It was pretty funny. I mean, but I doubt we'd actually have any of those going on in New Orleans.
No, I doubt not. But no, my main concern is that it's not even so much that. It's just I know there seems to be a. I'm still looking for that. If I had the money, I would have hired a private investigator a long time ago, and I would have taken care of this issue personally. But unfortunately, such as it sounds, my former partner, he ran off with everything I owned, and I have not been able to. For the past 10 years, I have not been able to get my show back off the ground since, and I'm not sure if there's that. How do you say statute of limitations concerning this sort of thing? Either way, I can't. I have not been able to find my I've not been able to find that bastard of a former partner of mine, and that bâtard of a former a partner of mine, and as such, this is why I came to New Orleans was to potentially reboot my act, put in some voodoo flavor, shall we say? Find a way to make an act that more exciting and get back into performing. But
well, it is a shame that you've been forced to live hand to mouth. It seems like.
No, don't get me wrong. I made some yeah. Don't get me wrong. I have made some mistakes in the past 10 years. I'm glad Monsieur Delano has just given me a second chance and is allowing me to work as his bartender for now. It's at least it's something, and I can work small and work my way back up to to hopefully an entirely new and brilliant act, and one without. I'm sorry. I do not mean to bore you with my life story. It's not.
Oh, look who you're talking to, Monsieur Leblanc. I've heard so many life stories. It's my calling to hear the confession, not just of the sins, but of the greatnesses, the great accomplishments of others. Not just what they've done wrong, but what they've done right.
Well, what is it? My old teacher, Monsieur Dupin, used to say. Magic is meant to entertain, inform, and act as an equalizer. Now, if only I could live up to that principle, I might actually be able to do something decent for once.
Well, I definitely, there is the talent there. It just you've got to stop. I don't know. It's like I said, with flipping the hand to the fist, you got to start putting some money back, so you're not forced to steal.
Oh, I completely agree. As a matter of fact, I regret every theft that I have done in the past. I regret every theft I have ever had to make in order to survive. But in order to, I mean, there was one time I was, God, where was it? I was in Haiti less than a month ago. Back there, I literally, in order to just even find a place to sleep for the day, I of course working nights. I literally had to break into a warehouse and sleep there just in order to be able to, I did not feel comfortable with squatting, but it was the only way to keep the sun off my back. A place to lay one's head is difficult enough, but no, you're absolutely right, Monsieur Le Père, Père Deacon. I need to save away, and it's part of the reason why I'm glad that Monsieur Delano has given me a second chance. It at least will. I mean, I have a little bit left of what he so generously gave me. I have maybe about 100 left now, 140 with what you've donated me, 145 total. I'm intending to save away, and I'm intending to squirrel and save away every little bit that I can, and hopefully one day we'll make it back into a place where I might even be able to do some good with the magic. Lately, one of the other reasons I came to New Orleans was that I have always thought the city has still been dealing with so much trouble after Hurricane Katrina. I thought perhaps I might be able to do something and give back to the public in a way. Do something good for the people here. It was an idea, but at present, because of how things are, it's maybe a pipe dream at best.
Oh, certainly.
But of course, it's. I don't know. Give it time. Maybe I will. Give it time. Maybe I will work. Maybe I will work things back in a good way. But for now, I apologize for my rambling. Anyway, how have things been with you this fine evening?
Well, as I said, I just recently returned from the meeting with Mr. LaCroix, the business meeting.
How did that how
Um,
did that go for you?
how shall we say, the what are we looking for? What's the name of it? I guess you could call it a lot of the board members, the heads on the count board members were regrettably vacant. None of them really appeared until the last minute.
I'm sorry to hear that.
That's not to say there wasn't some. Well, it was not to say it wasn't eventful, but apparently there's a land share that Monsieur Marcel, our beloved CEO in the city, it's coming back up for negotiation here pretty soon and needs to be ratified pretty soon.
Yes.
The other uh, group was fairly what's the word, aggressive about their negotiation. They want it definitely ratified.
I see. Have we managed to make things work in favor of our CEO against the other group, shall we say?
As the fact that he wasn't there, all we can do is sit around and squabble and complain. None of the board members were there either, so again, all you can really do is complain about them not being there and not doing their jobs. But in the end, it's like telling the sheriff or a police officer that they're doing their job incorrectly when it's not you that can do it for them. And at the same time, you're not fully armed to do it yourself.
I understand. I fully understand. Well, here's hoping that things will at least be resolved soon. I'm hoping to how shall we say? I'm hoping at some point soon to introduce myself to our CEO and see whether or not he may have use for my services.
Well, there could be a place. I'm thinking there could be a place. I mean, believe me, that some people may not have the may see you as something as a bumbling fool, that type of thing. But that's always a good card to play. Keep them guessing. I'm thinking the prince might have something, but CEO may have something for you. I
Well,
definitely talked to Mark.
yes, I will have to talk to Monsieur Lacroix, of course. Which reminds me, I believe there may be a. I will also have to speak to my current employer, Monsieur Delano, and see whether or not he may have some ideas as to how to, shall we say, speak. How to get an introduction to Monsieur le CEO and not violate certain company policies, shall we say?
Oh, seeing as you're not exactly on the board, so to speak.
Let's put it this way. The group I belong to is... We are not exactly part of the company, though we have done extensive business with the company in the past. And I am thinking that it is now time I finally reveal that I am actually a member of said group and not of the group I've been claiming to be for the past several decades, shall we say. I have decided that it's high time I reveal who I am. And I don't know whether company policy still allows my group to come to meetings with the CEO.
Well, anybody can come and present themselves. It's whether they walk out of the boardroom afterwards. That is completely at the board and the CEO's discretion. It's always the CEO's. It's ultimately his call whether to
Okay, well,
It's your
Yeah.
right to, you know,
Continued working, shall we say?
yeah,
Yes. Well,
acknowledge
I will do my.
the interest in his city.
Well, I will do my best to help him because my hope is that if it works out that way, then hopefully I will be able to continue working in this town with, of course, the CEO's permission, and hopefully be able to do something helpful, shall we say?
Well, for what it's worth, while I too may come from a, what would you call it, more, oh, it would may seem like you to be something more of a rival or mercenary type group. Um, Not all of us view that, and I've been here long enough, I think, and seen several hostile takeovers and attempted takeovers, and through two CEOs, as a matter of fact.
Oh yes.
My position isn't as fully, ratified as some of the others, like say Mr. LaCroix, who would be in with whose family has been on there for quite some time and has a full seat. I would definitely put a good word in for you if you needed it. The problem is if anybody bother to listen.
Yes. Well, at least it's something. Anyway, the sun is probably going to be coming up soon. I probably should get home. It was good to see you again, Monsieur le Père, or Père Dickens. I will look forward to ongoing conversations. Oh, and I may end up arriving at church this Sunday. Something has been telling me that it's time to get back in the good graces of the good Lord.
Well, certainly. Church of the Immaculate Conception, and it's over on Law Street. It's an actual cathedral in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And here's our mass times. We'll have old morning, noon, and evening, 3 times a day for
I see.
your religious proclivities.
I see here. There's also a midnight mass for there's a midnight mass as well for the people for the parishioners who otherwise can't get away from their work.
Yes, the truly penitent, and those that again also have other issues, standing issues like work, like you were saying. But definitely, yes, the midnight mass for those willing to attend.
Then I will attend the midnight mass this coming Sunday. Thank you again. This coming. Damn it! I'm trying to remember the actual French word for Sunday. Give me a second. This is out of character. Samedi, lundi, mardi, mercredi, jeudi, vendredi, samedi. I will be coming then for the midnight mass this coming dimanche. It was good again to see you, Père Dickens. And with that, Monsieur. Sorry, it was good to see you again, Père Dickens.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. And with that, Monsieur Leblanc puts up his hat, etc. And I believe the scene ends there.
All right.